Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and we have more iOS 13 leaks along with some other leaks as well, such as the final design for the new iPhone. The iPhone 11, or whatever Apple decides to call it, looks to be in its finalized form, and thanks to OnLeaks and Kashkaro, we have a finalized version of what it should look like. Now, these leaks normally come out early because Apple has to ramp up production of these in China, and so the molds and everything are ready to go, and then they start manufacturing them if they haven't already. So what it looks like is a very similar form factor to the iPhone 8 Plus or XS Max as far as its size and outside edges, but what we do have instead is a different camera design in the back. It looks like the camera is going to be, instead of having a stainless steel ring around here, it will have a one-piece glass solution, so maybe it'll make the back more easily replaceable if you crack it, but a one-piece glass solution that is fully molded into the glass with all the camera cutouts and then maybe some sapphire over the top of them. So that will be really nice. It is a little bit different looking, but it's probably to make room for a wide-angle lens along with maybe some new augmented reality changes. Of course, we'll have different internals, and as far as the external goes, this switch should change as well. This vibrate or silent switch looks like it's going to change from this form factor to something that's a little bit more familiar to the older iPad generation, maybe a little switch like this. So instead of having the back and forth, we'll have the up and down like an iPad 2 did. So maybe we'll have something like that. And then also the internals, it looks like Apple may still have to use Intel modems this year for the 2019 iPhones because they just reached a deal with Qualcomm on the chipset for 5G and things like that. They reached a settlement, but it takes a while to implement them. So we may not see Qualcomm modems in our phones until the following year in 2020. Now, hopefully the next version of modems, if they are using Intel, will be much better because they've been problematic on the XS Max, XR, 10, and XS. So all of these phones seem to have those issues. Now, the next thing has to do with the iPhone XR, and the iPhone XR is apparently Apple's best-selling phone since it's been released. So quite a few people buying these. I see these everywhere, and it looks like the next year version is going to keep the little camera bump as well. That's really all we've heard about that. And then there's the AirPods. AirPods 2 were just released, or the AirPods version 2 were just released, and they don't look too much different. They're supposedly a little bit better, but it looks like Apple may be releasing a third generation later this year that may have noise canceling ability more similar to the Galaxy Buds like this. So these actually seal in your ear, and maybe they'll do something along those lines, or maybe they've figured out how to do it with them not sealing in your ear altogether. But either way, it looks like we may have a new version. That is very much a rumor though, so we're not really sure. Now, as far as leaks with iOS 13, this probably has me the most excited because it's more for the iPad than anything else, and that's really where we need it to be revamped because iOS 13 or iOS 12 wasn't so great as far as features on the iPad. And one of those things they need to change is the windowing, which we know that's going to be a little bit different. Let me open this up here, and we'll stand it up. And I use my iPad like this all the time. Now, as I reported before, it looks like we are going to have windows that we can drag around similar to macOS. It looks like they're bridging macOS and iOS more on the iPad than anything else. And apparently under accessibility, it will have mouse support. So we'll have support for a Bluetooth mouse, whether it be the Magic Mouse here or a different one, I don't know, but it would be great to have mouse support, be able to use a keyboard with it and a mouse, and then maybe Final Cut or something like that. One of the other features many people have been wanting has to do with USB drives and things like that. So if you have a Thunderbolt 3 or USB-C drive, you can power it off of this, plug it in, and you'll see it has enough power to light it up, but the applications on iOS don't understand it. It says contents not available, cannot read the connected storage media. Apparently this is going to change in iOS 13 so that you can read connected media and import it directly into whatever app you're working in. So maybe you're working in Final Cut Pro or LumaFusion or one of those. So instead of having an extra step of going into Photos, importing our content, we can go directly into LumaFusion, import our media, and begin work right away. And that would be really nice to see happen on iOS 13. And that is really it. The other thing I forgot to mention is it appears that the next iPhone will still have Lightning, not USB-C, and wireless charging. So they're going to keep Lightning this time around, it seems like. I would love for them to switch everything to USB-C since that's a little bit easier. for all devices, but it appears that's not going to be coming to that just yet. So all of this news about iOS 13 and the next generation iPhone actually has me fairly excited, more so for iOS 13 than anything else, whether it means it's a new iPad OS, new iOS, or what. There is still no news about a new interface on the home screen. I'm sure they'll keep that pretty secret if they are going to change that. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, or maybe even on some very interesting rumors we see as well. I'd love to hear what you have to say about that. Let me know in the comments below. Of course, I'll link this wallpaper in the description as I always do. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. And if you enjoyed the video, give it a like. If not, the other one's okay too. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.